Hey everyone, this is 60 Grit. I'm doing my follow-up video on the Xperia PRO-I. This is Sony's camera, and you may be asking why in the world is he doing a review on a camera that's obsolete? And the reason is this bad boy is $1,700. And when it came out, it recently got dropped because, as you may know, Sony is fading it out for $999. But you can get this phone for as cheap as $700 if you look at like Best Buy open boxes, some other places. Best Buy, actually, most of the open boxes there's nothing wrong. They're actually excellent condition. It's just somebody bought it and returned it. They can't sell it as new. So anyways, I thought I'd do a video on it to see, because, do you need the latest and greatest phone? The answer is no. And why buy a Samsung $1,400 phone if you can get this thing for $700 and it meets your needs? So let's kind of go through the likes and dislikes that I have of the phone. The first thing I do like a lot is actually the feel of it. This is probably my favorite favorite phone I've ever held in my hand is this one. It feels solid. I love the aluminum casing on it. It just feels right. And I like it a lot better than the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And I get it. All my little iPhone fans out there and iPhone lovers, I'm not bashing the iPhone. I'm just saying this one feels nicer. And I don't know if it feels nicer because if you look at it, it actually is a little bit thinner. And maybe that's why I like it so much. I don't know. And then if you look at it, it is a little bit longer. So it could be, and some people they may hate this phone because you put this in your pocket. You may not like it. This is a fingerprint reader. I will probably say this is the worst fingerprint reader I have ever messed with. It worked right now, but it doesn't work like 50% of the time. And I've reset my fingerprint on here multiple times. It just doesn't always work. Again, it's one of the bad things. The camera takes some great pictures. It does struggle with night mode. So if you start taking pictures at night, if you go in there and you know how to do manual settings in that, you can actually go in there and fix a lot of the pictures without having to go edit them. And it does decent there. But there's the Samsung, OnePlus, Google, you name it, just about everything else performs better at night pictures than this phone. It is cool if you have a Sony camera. You can set this up if you have an Alpha series. So that's maybe a reason why you want this phone, because you want to hook this at the top of your camera and use it as LCD. The one thing I'll say that the biggest pain since getting this phone is updating it. So when I got this, it literally took almost 2 days to update. And if you're in the tech space, you know that when you do an update, they really want you to go update, not update one and then there's 12 updates and then jump to 12. They actually want you to go on stages. Most companies actually let you jump multiple stages, especially if it's not a big update or big firmware. This one makes you go through each one. Each one takes, 30 minutes, maybe longer. So it literally took me over a day to do all these updates on here. There are people out there on the web saying that you can get Android 14 on this, even though Sony states that they only do 2 updates. This shipped with 11, which would put this at 13. And as you can see, Android 13 on this. So that's probably a negative on here. And as you can see, there are no more updates to do. You go out to Sony's website, there's no more updates. So if you got 14, you probably try to do some kind of hack. And let's be honest, most people that get a phone don't want to do hacks, which means this phone may not be for you because of the Android 13. The LCD screen, I actually like it. It's a OLED, I guess you could say. It's a good screen. It's very bright. As you can see from my background, it has a great picture. They got some bloatware on here. It's not too bad. You can't install the Asphalt 9. There's Call of Duty, some Cinema Pro. Those things you can't uninstall on here. But it's kind of cool, and it uses Google Photos, which I do not like Google Photos. I think it's one of the worst photos apps out there. Just because if you upload any of your own albums, you cannot sort them by alphabetical order. It's actually whenever the last picture was taken. So if you have an album that was 12 years old and you put a new picture in it, or it thinks you put a new picture in it, it will be one of the top albums in there. And the only way to sort it with Google Photos, if you want to try to correct me on this, is if you use Google Cloud, yes, you upload all your albums there, and then you can alphabetize them and sort them there by name. But you cannot do that if you put all your albums onto the actual phone and store them on the phone. There is no alphabet, there is no naming scheme where you can name it. It is actually done by the last time it's been modified. That's when that album will go. This is where you put your Sims in there. But overall, I mean, the phone's nice, don't get me wrong. And if you buy it for $700, with some of the options out there, it might be a good option, especially if you have a Sony camera. Like might be a great pickup. You can use this with your Sony camera. Maybe in a year when you get another phone, you can still use this with your Sony camera and keep shooting that and using it specifically for that as an alternative monitor. Phone doesn't seem sluggish at all. It moves pretty quick. It goes through along those lines. Like I said, screen's bright. The audio I found was a little lacking. So sometimes playing a video or playing some kind of music, I had full volume. I could barely even hear it. So that seemed a little bit challenging on that piece. Is there anything else that don't? Like I said, feel-wise, I love this phone. The way it feels, like it's awesome. Like I really do like it a lot. Look at that. All these nice little things I wanted to pop up and do. Other than that, I mean, so yeah. So if you're looking for a $700 camera, you have a Sony camera, or you're looking for a $700 phone, you want to get when the Best Buy open box or another open box place out that sells them, this might be a great option for you. If you're somebody that wants some of the latest and greatest, or hey, you know what, I don't want Android 13, I really want to go 14 and going out, then of course this phone is not going to be for you. It does come with 512 memory out the gate, so basically almost anything you're going to store, you should have enough room, unless you're like me and you store every single photo you ever taken. You have thousands and thousands of music on here. Even though it gets compressed, you eat up a lot of gigs over time very quickly. But overall, it is a good phone. And I think at $700, this is a viable candidate for some people. Like I said, the Android 13 may be the lacking piece for you. But I won't carry the phone. The Android 14, not having Android 14 is a deal breaker for me. I like cameras. One thing about a phone, I love taking a lot of pictures. I have a mirrorless DSLR, so I do a lot of amateur, professional, however you want to say it. I'm a wannabe professional amateur photographer, and so that is a deal breaker for me. Also, not being able to take a good night shot without messing around with it. Why, you take the Google Pixel Pro, you take the iPhone, do that, and like I said, just to give you a comparison, as you see, this is a little bit thinner than the 15 Pro, and then it's a little bit taller. And like I said, that's maybe why I like it so much, because it just fits in my hand really nice. And like I said, it's not a glass backing. It's nice, metal. Like I said, good phone. I would suggest it, but a couple of caveats is, are pictures important? Do you take a lot of night pictures? Is Android 14 a deal breaker? This fingerprint breeder, look at it, it's working right now. It's a pain because you can just swipe up. It does not have, at least, actually, I did not see face unlock on it. So you got fingerprint unlock, and that's about it. So, but yeah, let me know what you think of it. If there's anything else you want me to review or look at, let me know. Again, this is the Xperia PRO-I, and have a great day. Thanks.